What's up, you guys and girls? This is Tim Trevor, the managing editor of the Diecast Collective. Today, tonight, depending on what part of the world you're from, yes, this is we pre-recorded on Monday night, but this will be coming out tomorrow on Tuesday, which will probably be in the next hour or so, depending on how fast I put it out. Also, I want to let y'all know, yes, these are supposed to be black walled. Yes, you got multiple spoke one, three spokes. I don't, guys and girls, I'm just going to let you know this right now. And what I saw on Google, it said traditional style black wall is supposed to be a 5 spoke. I highly doubt that because there's many other versions of black walls. And you see the case right here. I'll even bring them up just for you to see them a little closer. Um, But yeah, they're not necessary. Black walls don't necessarily have to be 5 spoke, guys and girls. They could be multiple spokes, multiple different uh, combos as well. So remember, they started from 77 to 1997, and then they came back out 2011, 2013. But those were limited runs from when I saw. And apparently, 76 is when they stopped making, from what I saw, they stopped making red line in 76. So that's when the black walls replaced the red lines from 77 to pretty much 97. But what Google search didn't say was, and I kind of reached out to somebody that I'm close friends with, and I'm not going to reveal the person's name, but a source told me when you normally get something like any kind, it doesn't matter what it is, a black wall, red line, whatever. When you have something currently in something is in current progress, like a current edition car or some kind of wheel package or a certain whatever it is. Um, for a case in point, when you saw the red lines came out, that's where red lines were coming out or already out. But what people don't, what the way that I asked my source, I said, "Hey, can you tell me exactly a little bit of insight?" He said, "Sure." What happened is when if you go on Google and you're trying to find where the actual real source of information is, like my source told me, yeah, you're gonna find when the actual year is made and the end production of that certain type of, like, in case like black walls. But what, like my source told me, was black walls were not black walls were in development for like 74, 75, and 76. So those 3 or 4, about 2 or 3 years of that was in development. So that's where you're seeing, well, all right, cool. And that's where they were changing. That's the change. So you saw from whatever year red line was coming from 70 something through, or 60 something, whatever it is, to 77. Because in 76 is when they announced that black walls were coming in the year 77. So anything predated to 76, you're going to see on that particular year, that's where all the black walls were formed. It's the same thing with it's a 3-spoke pattern. Any kind of wheel pattern you're seeing now, it's all done the same way, and that's what they're trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So it dated back to '76, but it wasn't fully in production until '77. That's when I said in that one video when I did with the two police or the two school buses, the fire truck, and the rescue squad. Go check that video out. That was on a Tuesday's episode. That's where I talked a little bit about it, but I wanted to give y'all a little source of information on the backstory of it. So either 75 or 76 is when they were when they didn't announce it, but they're in production of getting Black Walls put out. So Black Walls didn't officially come out until 77, but they were in production and 70, or they were talked about in 75, and then 76 they made a bunch of them, and then that's when they came out for the model year of 77. So there you go. Um, it's just like same thing with the Red Rider cars, the premium cars, same thing. Premium cars get done year or 6 months to a year out, and then they get the exact same treatment as they would get like a Black Wall. They'll get whatever tire package that fits that car, because every time they do it, they'll go through and they'll figure out what wheel. If it's a 4x4, they'll figure out what wheel it would be for that particular vehicle, or such as a muscle car, or race car, whatever. And that's what you see coming in these packages. So you have to understand, and you have to really think about it. Okay, yeah. Okay, they're actually doing it 6 months to a year before, which is absolutely true. That's why I'm saying to you, and that's why I'm giving y'all that little bit of a fact, because, like I told you, I spoke to a source, and a source of mine told me that's how, typically speaking, that's how they do everything from back then, and that's what they're still doing currently now. Hopefully that kind of helped y'all not to try to sit there and not trying to insult anyone's intelligence, but kind of want to give y'all a little bit more backstory. Now, as far as the wheel patterns on like what you see currently right now, he said it can vary. Black walls can vary on what pattern, and not necessarily have to be a 5-spoke. It could be any kind, but these can be considered black walled. This is considered black walled. So is this one. Again, this was made in 97. So anything from 97 on back to 77, that's where your black walls come in. But there was some exceptions. From what I understand, because I even asked the source, I said, hey, is there any exceptions? He said, yeah, there is. So the final line of the Black Wall's actual main series ended in 97, but there was conceptions. And that's where it kind of extended a little bit longer, but not by much. So by 2004, I think it's when they actually really cut it. But that's the first, like from 77 to 97 is like the first line of big batch of it, and then that's when from 97 to I think like 04, I think that's what it was, or 3 or 4 or something like that. They said the early 2000s when I saw on Google, but didn't say exactly what year. But I would imagine it would have been close to not about maybe '02, '03 time frame. Um, that's where they actually considering that to be the cutoff for the black walls. And then later on down the road, when they brought out the hot ones and the ultra hots, no, flying customs, excuse me. When they brought out the hot ones and the flying customs, they kind of brought back the five or the black wall to a point. But they said a black wall would be considering a 5-spoke car. It's like when you see like if you go and you find an 8-dot Hot Wheel or 8-dot Matchbox, that's what a black wall and a Matchbox would be considering. To draw the comparison to it, 5-spoke Hot Wheel, that's considering a technically a black wall. Well, black wall in a Matchbox is called an 8 spot. So there's 8 spots on the actual rim. So that's where you're getting the black wall for the Matchbox. Um, but some people have their own form of opinion on what a black wall or interpretation of what their black wall would be versus others. That's understandable. It's fine. I think a black wall can be any kind of rim pattern or spoke pattern, whatever. I personally think it can go on either side. Matchbox can have their version of a black wall spoke pattern, just as like a Matchbox or a Hot Wheel can be. But that's again, like I said, that's all determined on who the individual is. And I'm not saying nothing negative against it. I'm just speaking like in general statement. So that being said, also I got another fire truck that came in today, and I got another sheriff police car, which I got the blue one. The blue one's already open. I will bring both of them out next week. So next week on the program, we will be bringing the white sheriff and the blue sheriff car. That will be coming out, and maybe that's about that might be what I'm bringing out next week. I have to figure that out, and maybe the foam truck or something like that because I want to kind of like bring out cool stuff too. Um, this week we got a few things coming up. We'll have Wednesday. We're still gonna have something for midweek feature. We're still gonna have something for Thursday. Uh, and then I'm waiting on another Friday. I'm supposed to be getting the second variation or the second version of the exact same Zamac truck of the Cyclone. So I'm supposed to get that coming in the mail. 25th of February, I'm supposed to be getting the other MR2. And then tomorrow, I'm supposed to be getting um, the next two other ones that I got in the mail today. I think it's the other two, or one pump, yeah, one fire truck, and then I'll have to look at it, but I'm pretty sure it's something like that. Um, but yeah, I've got a few other cars coming in tomorrow, and I think there's another one coming. I know there's another one coming in on Friday, so we do have a few other cars coming soon. But that's pretty much it's nearing the actual mail stuff is narrowing down, so to speak. So we're kind of slowing it down a little. But yeah, like I said, I still got a big old stack. I still got some other cars in the other room that I have to pull out in case I need for a quick video to put out for you guys and girls. I'm sorry this is kind of a little bit long, but I just wanted to clarify some or try to clear up some stuff and try to explain a little bit further that I couldn't talk about in the last program. I do apologize, but I kind of want to give out a little bit more. I know it might be a little bit wrong what I'm saying, but everyone has their own way of thinking on things, and I'm not saying nothing negative, not saying it to insult anyone, but there's different interpretations of certain things that people can say, hey, this is interpretation of this is interpretation of that, and there's nothing wrong with it. Everyone's got their own way of seeing stuff or their own way of pinning what they want. But like I said, it's cool. I like it. Um, it's something that will bring new eyes to the table and bring new eyes to the genre or whatever you're looking at. And that's what I want. I want to see new people look at this and say, "Oh wow, this guy's actually bringing in a new set of eyes and kind of cooling in and trying to." Which I really honed down a lot of my craft over the last few months, but I've just been searching online, just basic search, and then I'm trying to put more into certain episodes. So, like the one with the black walls be coming up soon. That's going to be heavily involved. That actually involves with some of the buses I have and the fire department as well and stuff like that. But like I said, it's all coming down the pike. It's all coming in line. So you're just gonna have to you'll understand where I'm coming from. I'm also going to be talking about the eight dot pattern on a Matchbox as well, and I think there's a 5 dot one. I'll have to look at those, and yeah, I'm gonna look at those, and I'll put more info and more precise measurements or precise stuff on that. Uh, yeah, like I said, guys and girls, I'm just trying to provide some cool content for you guys and girls. That's why I like doing a little bit of these long videos. I know some of them don't like it. It's understandable, but there's a lot of information that has to be put out, and there's a lot of things to discuss in a package. So that's why I'm kind of leaning in like near the 20-minute mark sometimes, and I try not to be, but that's how it goes sometimes. So, like I said, guys and girls, I'm gonna be really quick on this one, and we're just gonna about to wrap it up here in a minute. So like I said, next week we'll be bringing out the sheriff and the blue and the white sheriff, the police department cars. Tomorrow or Wednesday on the show, we'll be talking more about probably a Mopar or something like that, just to bring out a little bit different variation. But like I stated in the beginning of the video, the blog channel and the blog and the short, I'll put everything in it just as well as here on this channel as well. Short, long form feature. And that's the only day out of the whole week you're going to get a form for 4. Other than that, everything else on the blog will be 3. And on here, it'll be just 3. It'll be 3 for the other 3 days. But only on Tuesday you're getting 4, so that's easier for me to do. Sometimes we might do it on special occasions as well. All right, everyone, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. I'm gonna go get everything put on. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting everything put together. Get the year, make, and model of these cars, and also I'm gonna put those on Facebook and Twitter, so you can check those out as well. With that all being said, guys and girls, I hope everyone enjoyed these videos coming out. And stay tuned for the latest. I'll provide more clarity on more information as it comes out on mail or whatever we got coming up in the next few days coming up for the videos and stuff. Stay tuned in March. I will probably coming out maybe with a uh, some type of car show. So we might start trying to do that next month in March. But then again, we might try one here soon, like the next few weeks. So stay tuned for that. I'll give you an information on that, maybe on the weekend or something. But other than that, we're going to try to come up with some small little car shows just to try to break up, maybe try to get some cars on the weekend out a little bit for y'all. Stuff like that on both channels. But anyway, guys and girls, until next time, we're out.